We've seen Nemesis played in every game, but not yet banned, but it has been picked in the top 3 selections each time. It's won a couple games, it's lost a couple games, but for the most part, it's been Nemesis for QvoFred as of late. He played the Raven game 1 and game 2. Since then, it's been Nem every single time. So 1 and 2 on it thus far in this set for QvoFred. Do you think the Nemesis pick is working out for him so far? Are you okay if they go for it here again in game 7?
I would not be upset to see a Nemesis pick yet again, because I don't feel as though Nemesis has been the issue with Dignitas' drafts. However, I will also say the more you play against Rival, it does give me a lot, or there's a lot of resemblances, I think, to current Rival and like the old energy, the old days of the Epsilon team, because the more you play, the harder it is to try and take wins. And I think that this is a primary example of that. A best of 7 seems to be Rival's ideal domain, because it gets pretty grueling trying to go in game after game after game.
It does seem like they're the hardest team to beat convincingly. And by that I mean, even when it seems like they're down and out, they find a way to claw back and find victories like they did in game 1.
Are they going to first pick the Aphrodite with this Odin ban? There's no way.
I think they do.
There's a chance, yeah. I think
they
do.
I think if Rival don't ban it, then yes. Now, if they do ban Aphrodite, then that means Dignitas gets Terra. So if I'm Rival, I don't think I ban either Terra or Aphrodite. They will not.
Janus is open, though, as well.
That's
so
true.
The question is, does Dignitas want the Afro? Dude, but they give away the Janus.
But Afro is the top pick out of LAN between Rival and Team Dignitas.
Telling you, man, it was only a matter of time. This LAN has been foretold throughout the years of the Smite professional scene. Behind the scenes, we've always heard Afro. Afro's coming this LAN. She's going to dominate. Watch out for Afro. We've never seen it. Well, here we are, and she's been dominant so far. Undefeated, I do believe, in this set so far. In fact, that is correct. She is undefeated so far. Nemesis and Thoth, the next 2 picks for Dignitas. They do stick with the Nem. No, little surprised that no Raven, I think, alongside the Aphrodite.
I don't mind the no Raven pick because of the fact that they don't have to worry about the Odin, which is going to lock in the Nemesis, and the Thoth is going to be free to dash wherever he really pleases. And this Ratatoskr, Athena, Janus combination, you got globals on globals, the mobility's through the roof from Rival. If they add an Amaterasu on top of that, then that's near the top of the mobility charts.
I think that Rival need to ban Achilles here, though. Otherwise, Dig's current draft has a chance to kind of play more towards like what we saw from Rival in the previous game, where they were focusing everything around trying to get that Achilles execute off. And
sure.
I think that Dig have a strong amount of poke damage or poke potential right now, and it'd be better to just not take the risk, because Achilles has been another pretty prioritized pick.
But does Dignitas just take a page out of Rival's book and pick Chiron against the Athena?
I don't think it'll have the same effect throwing Arkkyl onto Chiron as you can see from Vote, because Arkkyl is just not that utility-based player.
Yeah,
I don't think he is really meant to be the person that is flexing to that standard.
But Chiron being picked in order to cleanse for your team is not like a plug-and-play sort of idea. That's something that I feel like you need to have worked on in the past in order to get that timing down correctly. So they do ban the Achilles. It's open. Should Dignitas want that Chiron, but Rival get the Yama.
Goodness, they got it. There's just globals on globals with more mobility on top of this. Rival, if they get to 25 to 30 with everyone being, you know, level 17 or higher, I'm really fearful for how Dignitas can just either chase down Rival or get away from all the threats they got to worry about.
And normally I would be concerned about Rival's draft, because even though they have a whole lot of global presence, I don't think that that's necessarily a ton of map pressure, because some of those gods don't exactly have the most ideal laning phases. But looking at Dignitas' draft, it's just, how do you keep Rival in a team fight come the mid to late game? Every single opportunity that they're probably going to try and engage in. Rival, there's a Janus ult to run away, there's Athena to buy you plenty of time with Peel, Rat's got a great escape, and Amaterasu just there boosting the rest of your team. I wouldn't even be that surprised to see Vote bag on this Hachiman, and I'm expecting that to be the pick. Kind of beat me to it.
One of the ways to combat a lot of mobility is instant burst off of big CC, and Kumbha, Thoth, Nemesis fit that bill. So maybe that's the plan. Not worry about Rival's disengage. If you kill him off the initial burst of damage, then it won't matter too much. Aphrodite has been undefeated so far. Is this going to be the game that Aphro loses? Will Dig let the Smite Masters land here in Season 5 slip through their fingers?
We're about to find out, and I like the fact that you mentioned Burst, because the Athena, once Callus looks for those dash taunts, epic uppercut every time, burst Callus down.
I like that idea. I'm not sure that's what's going to end up happening. I think this might be Aphro's first loss.
Do you think that Dignitas wins here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Taco?
No.
Split on the desk. Luckily, they're not deciding. It's the players themselves, and the casters will be talking about what the players are doing.
Thanks a lot, Aggro, and yes, we're here for game number 7. 6 in the grand scheme of things, but with a 1-game advantage, Dignitas have, well, they had a lead. It's gone now.
So close, man. You know what I really wanted to see?
Best of 9?
The Amaterasu broke my heart. I wanted to see the Opwash solo from Deathwalker.
In a game 7?
The last time their series was on the line,
In a best of 1?
In the last time they were in an elimination game, they played Ares solo.
That's fair. Okay.
Opwash solo against the success the Aphrodite has been having. I would have loved it. But instead, the Amaterasu comes through. A ton of prowess for this character. Certainly not a slouch. Specifically, the silence will be nice.
Well, you guys vote in chat who you think will win this game. I don't care. All I know is that it's a best of 7. And the first time we've ever done it, we're going to the deciding game, which is really surprising to me. The way this set began, Tom, Dignitas came out of the gates flying, and then they flew back to the fountain in game 1. And then after that, it's been anyone's game every single time.
It's, like I said, I think Team Dignitas has let the longevity of the set get to them.
Amaterasu soloing against the Aphrodite.
Yep.
I potentially saw the Athena Amaterasu support instead, but I do like this look. I like this look a lot because, you know, Afro's going to be able to free farm, but you know what? Amaterasu will as well, and one of the issues she has is low pressure in the early stages.
Sure. Yeah, it's going to be a nice look. Again, like the silence is really nice because a big deal about what's happening is that back off. And
here we go again.
We've seen this one every time.
And every time Dig have been destroyed in the grand scheme of things. Even if they win the trade, they get baited to hang around and go aggressive, and then the jungler comes over and they die.
Yeah.
I just want them to just let it go. Stop this nonsense. Just farm.
Kala's here trying to wrap around and just got a glimpse of Biggie walking past, and Biggie's a very calm guy, cool, calm, collected. Of course, Biggie, the coach of Team Dignitas, furrowed brow, walking briskly, not very Biggie was his demeanor.
If you're the coach of Dignitas now, you're still looking back going, we have made so many mistakes in this set that have allowed Rival to have a window back into it. Alpha, meanwhile, was like, well, I'll take it. It worked out well.
Yep. I mean, Team Rival are alive here because of bad decision-making. Zyrhoes and QvoFred going to get looped around by iceicebaby.
And it's QvoFred being focused, but both had dashes available, so nothing more than a little bit of a squabble in the mid lane. Health potion-wise, though, in the duo side, Arkkyl's down to just 1 multi-potion in that lane now, which can be impactful. And I think that's one of the reasons why you'll see them start to freeze this wave a little bit more on the left-hand side as Rival take away their own jungle. Zyrhoes and Kuvo pick up the red.
Team Dignitas now have to just erase everything. And it's funny because the games leading up to the final moment in a long series like this can kind of be forgotten now. It's single game set. Win this game. And Dignitas, I think, it might be easier to revert to their strengths that they were looking at before.
QvoFred has to dash away from iceicebaby. Both of them start to pay attention to the duo lane. iceicebaby's been doing this more frequently so far. Kuvo's first real attention at the start of the game, but he's not going to be able to do anything alone. Him and the Rat just going to juke it out in the jungle. It's leaving the mid lane as 1v1, but Kuvo's losing this trade.
I mean, he's got the double dash. He's not going to lose his life, but he will lose that back left harp camp. That said...
That for a jungler is his life, though. It's the same thing.
It's not speed buff. It's not speed buff.
If it was speed, it's over then, right?
Yep. And look at this. Iceice is going to wrap around the back looking to steal the speed, but Zyrhoes is here, but guess what? So is DW. QvoFred going to wrap around from the front side, and Team Rival, coordinated effort to strip away this speed buff.
Stolen.
Nice job.
Left-hand side, Taunt came out from Trixtank. Sorry, from Calus onto Trixtank. They've both been played in Athena. I got a little bit confused there, but of course it's Calus on the Athena for the final deciding game, one of his go-tos. And Calus, for me in the finals, has had an amazing time of things. On the Achilles last game, he was a real implement that Rival put to good use, but for the whole tournament, to be fair.
And what was great was I feel like that's a little uncharacteristic for Collins. Collins, I mean, everybody looks at the Athena, the Fafnir, the aggressive utility supports, right? Not aggressive where I'm going to do the damage or I'm going to get the kills, but Collins accepts that role, takes the Achilles, and performs. For a long time, Collins was...
support.
What?
It's the sign of a good support. It's one of these players that can play the aggressive front line, can also play the defensive focus from a Geb point of view, from Athena. Can you be the aggressor? Can you be the defensive edge for your team?
Yeah.
The support needs to be flexible. It's one of the roles that always goes unlocked. Nobody wants to play it. Everybody tries to avoid it because it's such a complex role that you will get blame if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
And you won't get the credit either when it goes right, which is always a tricky task.
That's the thing. You always blame the jungler, but you can at least give the jungler credit. You also always blame the support, but very rarely do we see the supports get credit. That's why I try really hard when I'm up here to make sure that supports get their due, because it's all of the little things, it's all of the small things that allow them to change the game in a blink of an eye.
iceicebaby at level 5, and Iceice for me, jungle in position on the Ratatoskr, had a solid time, I think, since transition to the Rat in this set. Overall, he's making a lot of impacts on the Rat. Cubo and Zyrhoes, very quiet for Dignitas in the finals, I want to say, in the grand scheme of things. In game 1, game 2, active. Since then, started to slow down.
Yeah.
Cubo's not really had as many impacts as I would have liked from him. Maybe that is because of the Nemesis pick, though?
I don't know if it's a Nemesis pick. I will have to ask the players as Deathwalker looks for the second invade, but this time it's a different scenario. Multiple Dignitas members here.
But I love what Deathwalker's doing. Hey, it's Afro in lane. What's she gonna do? Chase me around? No. I'm gonna rotate, use my warrior defenses to be aggressive. Talk about aggression. Cubo in trouble, has to beads as he saw iceicebaby Lumen, and Iceice blinked in, looks for the kill on Cubo for first blood, and he will take the life of his other jungler.
Behind the tier 2 tower, though, could be punished from Dignitas, but nobody's here.
Space of time? Did that hit? No, I thought it was. Especially when I heard him go, a little nap. I was like, well, maybe he's napping. Someone not caught napping his Arkkyl. He's in the sky. Can Iceice hold this long enough for him to land down? Arkkyl should have waited. The beads were perfect. He rolls through, but still under the tower. Iceice goes and gets the second kill of the game.
Great play from Team Rival here. This is exactly what they need to do. Fight early and often. Take advantage of variety on the right side. Strip away that jungle. Make sure that Cubo can't do much of anything. Great play by Team Rival, not just in their execution, but their strategy and the game plan. 2
kills for iceicebaby so far, getting a Ratatoskr a nice lead. Specifically when he has that Acorn 2, finds the first kill, means he's going to have the goal to upgrade it early on before he has to transition back to base for additional mana. Now at level 7, Cubo level 5.
So Zyrhoes and QvoFred have to wake up. Said it before, man, and I have to ask the players specifically, but I really think that the length of this set is getting to Team Dignitas.
And it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Rival had longer sets in the grand... Oh, actually, no, Dignitas had longer sets yesterday. In the grand scheme of things, if you think about it, I mean, they did, I guess to be fair, they did have the doubleheader yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Then go into a best of 7 today. For me, it's their own fault.
I mean, for everybody, it's their own fault. They threw away that game.
Yep. That one mistake in game 1 where they tried to end with the Janus has come back to haunt them and now puts them in a position where Rival are in the same spot as them. Just one win is there to win the whole thing.
iceicebaby staying aggressive, being in the enemy jungle, and look at the vision, right? I like to divide the map into quarters, and usually you see the vision come out halfway mark. This time it's at the enemy's 25% mark.
Trixtank going aggressive on Calus, but the stun from Zyrhoes is already off the mark. Nice little investment from Zyrhoes. The follow-up is there for Iceice, and here comes Cubo.
The ultimate coming out from the Athena, though, will mitigate a lot of the damage. Great response from Calus. Less about the rotation and more about the mitigation coming out from that Athena ultimate.
Variety is in a bit of trouble on this right-hand side now, trying to defend against the Amaterasu on the blue buff. Blue buff Definitely an important one for the solo laners. Not as much as previously. It is on a lower cooldown, which means it's up more often. But if he keeps getting shredded away time and time again, Deathwalker's going to develop a lead and has already done so with a level advantage.
Right, and it's a nice look so far for the Amy. Trixtank getting chased down. Kalis and everybody sprinting. Ice in the sky. Lands, misses, but still trouble for the support. That one's going to go the way of Ice nice and easy. Dignitas need to respond somehow.
Archery used by Bo, and it's Zyrhoes in trouble. Zyrhoes is dead too. 3 kills for Rival. Red buff stolen away. Even Amaterasu making the rotation over to this left-hand side of the map now, and Wlfy's looming at less than 9 minutes in.
This is an easy call for Team Rival. Go directly to the Gold Fury. Do not pass go. And because they're so low, it's a nice, tasty bait. This is dangerous, sure, but if anybody from Dig shows their face, they die.
Wlfy, fast. 3,500, nearly 4,000 gold lead at 8 minutes in. That's 2,000 gold. It's insane. Insane situation for... You know what I hate most, Tom? We've casted a lot of games through the years. A lot of games. We've seen a lot of finals.
Yep.
Always in the last game, we see more shutouts than anything else, than anywhere else in the tournament.
It's true, and you know, there's a number of factors that have to come into it. Of course, you've got length of play. You've got just different... How many different tricks have you shown? Can you really get a surprise on anybody? And then, of course, you have just the mental anguish of like, look, man, we should have had this one. We lost it. I don't even know what to do anymore. Not necessarily thinking where Team Dignitas, I don't think that's where Dignitas is. I think it's the other side of the coin where Rival are just hot.
Well, Deathwalker knew QvoFred was over here, but he's happy to battle them both back under their own tower on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, iceicebaby and Kalis starting to collapse to this right-hand side too. Iceice going to check out that speed buff, drop a ward there for vision as Deathwalker, Kalis, and the Rat turn up to steal away the blue buff once more.
I need Dignitas to respond here. I've spent the entirety of the series saying that Dignitas doesn't mind when Rival gets an early lead, but that's a 2,000 gold lead. When you're looking at 4K before 10 minutes, this is a big difference. This is a big deal.
Looks like something might be going on the right-hand side. Is that Pyromancer's about to spawn? They're going to start the Pyromancer straight away. Wlfy was hanging around here for a minute, and I'm like, is he ganking right? No. Looking to abuse the advantage early even more so. Continue to keep Dignitas on the back foot. Don't give him a window back in this one wherever possible. Trix is busy trying to de-ward as the Pyromancer falls.
This is pure dominance coming out from Rival. Just everything available being taken. 4,500 reads the gold difference now, and Dignitas have to find something.
They're looking a little bit worried, Dignitas and the player cams. As you cycle through them, you'll see that as time goes on. It's going to be a grim situation to get back into. It's not over. Let's put it that way. It's definitely not over, but
sure,
it's a huge lead for 10 minutes in, Tom. If it was any other season, we'd be like, all right, that's it. Rival are pretty much going to win the set, but not Season 5.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of ways to get back in here. There's a ton of Smite to still be played.
And you talk about getting ways back in. I'm looking at this man on your screen right now, Variety. Hasn't died yet, is a little bit behind in lane, but he's going to have to make impacts in these fights when he gets there. He needs the help. He needs to help this team.
And he's on the Aphrodite, which is a supplemental character. She brings a lot of damage, but she brings damage with help from her friends.
Well, talking about help, Deathwalker going to make sure he helps his friends in the worst way possible. Cursed Ankh picked up and upgraded early. You give me this look of it's not that important. I think it's huge in the team fight.
Here's why it's not so huge. Big difference is if it's a world of Chiron heals or Hell heals or Cerberus heals, which are uncontrollable. This is Variety, who is going to be able to heal himself and a single other character. The entire team isn't going to be hit by the heal, so that 20% extra damage isn't going to bother the entire team. It's just going to bother 1 or 2 players, which sure, if Rival are good with their target selection, that will be fruitful, but it's more about the damage.
Fight in the jungle, Iceice and Deathwalker a little bit overextended. Iceice gets out of the danger zone as Kalis joins it. Space and time fired, Brown through the jungle, but didn't find a target there this time round. Iceice gets out, goes towards mid, blue buff was dropped, and everybody on Rival survives.
Team Dignitas didn't really get anything out of there, and that's bad. They need to find at least a kill there.
What happens if they did get beats out of Wlfy towards the tail end of that, though, which will keep him on the back foot for now, especially with his space and time being down.
And you know what? I missed that, and that's something enough. That's all that's one little thing, because now you can follow up and you can find Wlfy and you can look for something after the fact.
4 kills in so far, and Callis has been involved in all 4 of them once again on the support Athena. Athena been a big focal point in this game between Trixtank, the solo laners, and Callis, all looking to pick it up. I guess the pocket pick that everyone's been looking at is definitely the Aphrodite, and as this set has continued.
It's been a great selection, and you know it's something that I kind of expected. Saw it looming, picked once or twice during the regular season, and when you look at these 2 solo laners, so much of their history also tells you that that's the direction they want to go in.
Look at this pressure in mid though. Deathwalker is just hovering between the tier 1 and tier 2. Rival really putting the beat down on Dig early here. They're trying to get every bit of morsel of gold they can in these early stages. This is what you call a snowball, if you can make one happen, and Rival are starting to do that here.
Dignitas have said that they're not afraid of the early game pressure, and Rival punishing them for that.
But this comp isn't really that early game from Rival if you think about it. Final Judgment fired off, and it will hit iceicebaby. Not enough damage to bring him down, but Wlfy falls through the portal, has to Aegis. Defensively, Trixtank already sleeping. Deathwalker very low, but the portal gets him out.
The knockup is good, and Trixtank might be able to get right back on into this one. Wlfy's going to go ahead, have the ultimate, but he takes care of Trixtank. Number 5 for Rival, easy peasy.
Gold Fury still looming, but a couple of members are Rival a little bit lower. And with Variety over here now sustaining them back up, in goes Callus with a double taunt. In goes Ice, and in goes Vote 2. He gets the kill onto Variety. The healer is already dead.
I'm not seeing any life in Team Dignitas. This set is already over in
Look at Vote's
Dignitas'
face. Vote is so focused this game. Face of focus on him. Zyrhoes, meanwhile, looking a little bit worse for wear. He will get the red buff here. 6-0. 8k gold lead with that Gold Fury falling here.
Team Rivals seem like they can will themselves into certain positions. From the days of being on Cyclone GG, Coach Hazer, right there kind of backing them up. They've moved on. So is Coach Hazer. Coach Hazer now on an arguably different, or on a different team with Team Obey. And then you see Rival, they've grown up to be this team that they are right now. And time again, Hindu, we've seen them with their backs against the wall, and they will it. Like I said, elimination game last year in the summer, they play Ares solo, and they will themselves to find them later on in the series. Of course, Dignitas did beat them that last time. Rival have done the same thing. They've brought this to tournament point, but it looks like it's going in a different direction.
I mean, you mentioned that. Game 1 of this set, they played to the final whistle. And in the end, the final whistle blew in their favor because they continue to try and stay involved in this game. Fire Giant around the area. Trixtank very far forward, left alone, gets his uppercut off, but already dead. Wlfy secures the kill.
And look, the guys aren't even there. Team Dignitas are on 2 separate pages. Up in the sky goes the Hunter looking for the steal. That might have actually worked. JK, LOL. Team Rival continue taking literally everything.
And now the tier 1 tower on the right-hand side is being looked at too. Vote, Callis, Wlfy all there. Only Variety and Arkkyl hanging around. They can't stop this. They will get an answer back in the mid lane, however. It's the first thing Dignitas are going to get in this game.
Almost 10,000.
Oh, Ice went in. Ice went in 2v1. He knew Callis was coming. I heard the ult being channeled and just wasn't sure where it was going. Still, the pressure is on from Callis. Ice is taken to the sky because the rotation's coming and they were all hunting Kubo dead.
You took the words out of my mouth, man. I was going to say the same thing. Deathwalker, 8 kills unanswered for Team Rival. This is, Hindu, I'm not going to mince words. This is a bad game from Team Dignitas.
0-0-8 for Callis again, involved in every single kill. I'm just going to mention his name one more time because he's making an impact for his team. Goes in again, looking for the taunt. Trix jukes that one out nicely. Turn around with the groggy strike. Callis getting low. Big meditation from Deathwalker. Nobody else from Dignitas really around. They're limping back from base or still in the fountain.
Arkkyl doing a good job of looking on the right side, though. He's just going to look for the split push.
Yeah.
Team Dignitas understand they can't take any fight. They're down 10,000 at 17 minutes. It's just not a healthy look for them. So Rival instead looking for whatever little they can find. That tier 2 is going to fall.
I have never seen this season so far a game like this. With how quickly this has gone to tatters for Dignitas, Rival have just done everything systematically. And it's just putting Dignitas in such a rough position for defense. Because Zyrhoes isn't going to be in that damage build safe option. Neither's Variety to be able to help out on these defenses and stay alive.
Arkkyl gets his Aegis chased out there. I mean, nothing is going right for Team Dignitas, and it's
Onto QvoFred they go again. Deathwalker going to silence him out. Wlfy going to leave the equation with that portal through the wall for safety. Fire Giant still alive, not taken just yet. And I'm saying that at 17 minutes in, like it was something that was attemptable, but it is, because that's how Rival have played this game so far.
Exactly. Rival have just turned the entire series on its head. They've done a great job of just putting everything in their pocket, internalizing their losses, and finding out why they've been losing and looking for the victories, and they haven't let the foot off the gas whatsoever.
Two people pressuring in mid lane as Deathwalker calling some problems on the right-hand side. Tier 1 tower already taken by Rival on the right. Only 2 Tier 2 towers remaining. Good portal onto 2 out of Wlfy. Trixtank and Aphrodite will escape with the back off. But Deathwalker's still tanky as ever, not even concerned.
Not even taking any damage from the heals right there. Wlfy, however, looking into Trixtank. Could be trouble finally, as it's a 3-on-2, but mid lane trouble for the Hunter.
He's in a lot of trouble now, especially with Ice in the sky. Nice juke from Arkkyl, but the banner over will get the kill from Boat. As Deathwalker now wraps around his QvoFred left alone. He's dead too. 10-1 so far in this game. iceicebaby, the first casualty for Rival, as they all group up in the jungle once more and look towards the Aphrodite.
Really good that Dignitas are on the board, but Team Rival look like they're going to continue to put things in their kill column. Trixtank goes north, Trouble down south. Both of them are going to fall here.
Absolute unfortunate end for Dignitas, but hey, I'm calling this already.
Great win for Rival.
This is beautiful from Rival. They lost game 1, they were handed it. Game 2 they lost. Then come back and win consistently over and over again.
And even before that, Rival got, I'm trying to find a family-friendly word. They got destroyed, beat up, whatever you want to say, by Dignitas.
Yes.
Earlier on. This is a double elimination bracket. Team Rival coming from the lower side.
Correct.
Dignitas started with a game win. That's how we're doing this. And Team Rival, with all of the adversity in the world, fighting into it. Coming out on top so far.
It was a 3-0 yesterday. Best of 5, 3-0 to Dignitas. Today, it started off a 1-0. It became a 3-1 today, and now it's a 3-3. In the grand scheme of things, Dignitas have won 6 games. Rival have won 3 so far against these teams, but this is the one that matters the most. This is for the tournament.
Conversation. Are Dignitas choke artists?
I don't think so yet.
Because I have looked at them as a fantastically consistent team that unfortunately faltered at the most important point of their season last year. They came number 2 in the spring, number 1 in the summer, number 1 in the regular season in the fall, if I'm not mistaken, and then just barely missed out for Super Regionals.
A lot of fans are going to say, yeah. For me, no. This is Rival. This is Rival showing that they will play against adversity time and time again. Never give up, never surrender. So steal a phrase of a fellow caster, but that's what they've done. And now they're in this spot to win this game in the most remarkable way possible.
Well, Team Rival going to dash in, looking for the left side. Phoenix. Trixtank once stood there.
That was a level 11 versus a level 19 Janus. Snipes out from Arkkyl, looking to return some damage, and in goes Ice, hitting 3. Unfortunately, Variety can only keep 1 alive, and not even for long. Put a fork in it. It's done. Rival have destroyed Dignitas here. Phoenix on the left is going to fall. They could probably end off that if they wanted to. They may even go for it.
They're looking for it. Zero's the lone defenseman. Trixtank will spawn. Variety's out for 30. QvoFred out for 20. Arkkyl out for 30.
They have lost against Dignitas this tournament, but not this time. Not in the finals. Not where it matters. Revenge is theirs. Not only did they take revenge for E-United, but they did it against their European brethren too.
Team Rival on top of the world came into this set with a game down. Came into this set with a bruise from how they got manhandled yesterday. They came into this set with smiles and a game plan. Team Dignitas, on the other hand, right now, exiting this set quite the opposite.
Commiserations to Dignitas. That was theirs to lose, and that's what happened. Rival stepped up on the day in the best of 7. A lot of respect between these teams over in Europe. They see each other every single week, and it's one of the best things to feel that at least 2 European teams made it, but they will not be happy with the result there, Dignitas. Well played, Rival. Well played.
Arkkyl and QvoFred, the definitely most unhappy that I have seen them in a long time. This was a series that they absolutely should have won. They absolutely should have done it, and they just come up short.
I'm distraught for the Dignitas boys, but I'm elated for Rival at the same time. Both these teams, fantastic competitors, fantastic tournament. But the real question that stands for you guys at home, and I hope you choose wisely, who is MVP for the event from Rival?
Yes, and we're talking over the entire thing, not finals MVP. Throughout the entirety of the tournament, who from Rival stepped up the most? And honestly, if you want my honest opinion, which I think is unpopular, iceicebaby.
I'm falling Callus's way. Callus, for me, he's had a fantastic tournament. They dominated Dignitas every dueling. He was there on the Achilles, he was there on the Athena. But then again, I said the Ratatoskr made big impacts the whole tournament.
Even in the games that this team lost, iceicebaby looked fantastic. I'm putting my money on it. I would love to see him earn the MVP.
You guys get the vote. It's enough from us. Let's head bound to the desk to break down the last game.
Rival has vote.
Unbelievable. Rival. Get it done.
Wow.
Game 7 in convincing fashion. And we can, let's just be frank here on the desk. Dignitas just looked like a shell of themselves in that Game 7. That game was over from the first blood.
I think it was over from the moment that they sat down for this final game, in fact, because I know that it can be hard to read players at times, but the looks on their faces, all I could think about was the same exact look that they had at Super Regionals, and I hate referencing that again. I know that we've done it like a million times here, but it is just so telling sometimes in a player's face.
It was just another repeat of that Super Regionals, a flashback for them. They got into their own heads. I'm still looking back in game number 1 where they try to do that dropship play, which is why I think personally Wlfy should get the MVP because of that MVP strife. If they lose that game, they lose in game 4.
Yeah, exactly. We're never here. We're all at home. Like, we're out of the suits. We're in our PJs. Like, we're done. If Wlfy and the rest of Rival don't somehow manage to find that game 1 victory, but they did. So here we are, crowning them your champions of Smite Masters here in Season 5, 4-3 over Team Dignitas. Rival come out of the losers bracket and make it happen. If there was an argument for double elimination, I know there was a lot of debate, single elim, double elim, what is better? What other evidence could you have that double elim it makes for a great event than this?
And Rival are truly the team to deserve this victory. Coming through the lower bracket here, not only did they lose to Dignitas earlier in the upper bracket, beating Space Station Gaming so handily, and now here as well. They had to win 3 games in a row again against Dignitas.
Incredible.
You just have to approach that with the every game's a best of 1 mentality, I think, if you're Rival in those sort of situations. And if you looked at them, that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, and they just kind of took each game as it came. Okay, we got to win 3 in a row, but got to start by winning this one. Okay, we won that one. Now we got to win 2 in a row. Well, let's start with this one. Let's win this. And they do, and they do, and they do. There wasn't a lot to break down in that Game 7, but we can at least talk about the draft because I think it does start there between Rival and Dignitas. The Afro first pick, she was undefeated. I understand how Dignitas kind of gets baited into picking her, but Rival clearly ready for it. They draft the Ama, which actually gets pressure in lane for once. When that happens, Ama is an absolute nightmare.
And just transitioning fantastically in the mid to late game. Mobility was the name of the game for Rival. Not only did they have Amaterasu, but the Janus and Athena, which was first and second pick for Rival, and then Ratatoskr for iceicebaby. That was lights out the whole tournament. Playing it 3 times in this set, winning 2 out of the 3, had a great opportunity to really close out this game with that first blood.
iceicebaby on the Ratatoskr as well. I mean, what else can you say about the guy? You heard him there as the casters were talking about who was going to go on to be that MVP potentially. Rival's iceicebaby certainly worthy of that title if he does end up getting it. I think Kalas has got to be right there as well, though. I mean, he has looked so good all tournament long. And impressive stuff from all of Rival. And they are standing by. Your champions will be coming soon with an interview as we figure out who the MVP is going to be. You already said who you think, Anatoly. Taco, do you think who should be the MVP, not just for the finals, but for the entire event?
I think we all know that it's probably not going to go to who I personally feel deserves it, but Kalas, man, supports don't get nearly enough love. I think that Kalas carried so many different parts of like multiple games throughout this best of 7, and especially that gameplay on the Achilles. I love that. That could not have been a more rival team composition, because execution is everything when it comes to this team. It was very clear in their gameplay that heavily reflected just how strong and like well coordinated this team can actually be, not just on paper, but this game 7 as well. I felt kind of bad for Dig, because I think you actually were the one who brought it up, where in the past teams have talked about one of the main weaknesses that Dignitas has always suffered from is that level of predictability. And I think that Rival just, I don't even think that they needed to reference the coach's drafts by any means. They probably knew from the start that they could bait Dignitas into that.
Outside of Season 4's Spring Console and when Astral Authority won, it was
Yeah,
Brochacho getting that MVP. So outside of that, I can't remember a time where there was a support.
I don't think there ever has been a support on the PC side of things who's gotten MVP for a LAN. I'm with Taco. I think Kalas is well deserving, but you could basically pick anyone out of Rival, and your champions for the Masters LAN here in the spring split of Season 5 are standing by for their post-set interview.
Congratulations, guys. We are here with Alpha Jackal, the coach for Team Rival, and iceicebaby, who actually earned MVP. Congratulations first and foremost. And we're going to attack off the bat the format. This is the first time that we've seen the best of 7. You guys came with the disadvantage. 1, what does it mean to win with the disadvantage? And 2, what was the experience like?
Well, in terms of what it was like preparing for it, it's exactly the same. You just have to hope that you win the first game, turn it into a best of 5 immediately, and reset afterwards immediately. That's pretty much what we did. In terms of how it felt to play?
I mean, it was pretty simple, standard stuff, really. And we had, like, from yesterday experience, we played 6 games in a row, so, like, we didn't get tired, so, it's like, and the wins brought us more motivation and more self-esteem, so, like, we were rolling the more wins we got.
And that question I just want to follow up on. I mean, yesterday you guys had to play 2 sets because you lost the 3-0 to Dig, and then had to take on North America. Coming into today, best of 6 or best of 7, technically. I mean, that's a lot of games. Alpha, how do you prepare for so many of those games?
You just got to take it one game at a time. See what happened in the previous game, adapt to it, work on what the issues were in between the game, and in between the sets, refresh the strategies, refresh the emotions, and make sure everyone's A-okay as if they just got into the studio.
Very interesting how the best of 7 went. You guys, look, I'll be straight up. You guys did not look good in the beginning. It looked really, really dismal. And even ignoring the mistake that Dignitas made at the end of the game, just nothing was going right. How did you turn that around? Because you were not happy, AJ.
Simply go in there and give them the Alex Ferguson treatment of the hairdryer. You can even ask them. I went in there and shouted at them after the Dig game last.
I was going to say, like, you guys don't have many people with hair on your team. Or styles, for that matter, as well. I don't know if the hairdryer really worked there for that one. Iceice, coming to you. You played in this event, obviously, in the jungle. How do you feel your team performed overall? Are you happy with the performance? Obviously, you won, but are you overall happy with how you guys as Rival played this tournament?
Considering the preparation we did, they were double scrimming every day while we were just single scrimming. So I think the first time we faced them, it was obvious that they were going to beat us. But like, I think we just took the games like as experience, something we can work on, and like we just keep improving, and I think it worked out in the end.
You've done a great job here, specifically you, Iceice, earning the MVP. Congratulations on that. I know you guys think of yourselves, rightfully so, as a full unit team, but even in the losses that everybody else looked poor, you were still bringing it. How important was that? How did that affect your mindset, and did that affect the rest of the squad as well?
Well, I just saw like Baskin tweet yesterday that he thinks that Fred might be the best player, so I just had to do something about him. So that's pretty much it. All the motivation I needed.
Alpha, I guess my last question is then, was there anything that surprised you from what the opposition brought out this whole tournament? As the coach, you're against other coaches as well as the picks and bans. Was there anything that really surprised you?
Nothing surprised me coming out this tournament. I'm just surprised that we saw as much Aphrodite as we did. Going into the tournament, we knew Dig played it. We had counters to it. We thought, okay, maybe a niche pick here and there. Going towards the end of the tournament, for her being a top pick, surprised me the most.
Thanks again for your time, and congratulations, Alpha Jackal, iceicebaby. You guys look fantastic. Well deserved.
Thank you very much.
You have it. Alpha Jackal and iceicebaby, part of your spring champions here at the Masters LAN. It's Team Rival who end up on top 4-3 over Team Dignitas. So it was an incredible journey for Team Rival and really putting on display this double elimination bracket that we had for the first time ever. They actually went up against Dignitas a couple days ago and got, well, crushed 3-0. Fell down onto that loser's side after a close victory over E United. Dignitas had a close victory over Space Station. That's where Dig and Rival met up in the semifinals yesterday. Then Rival comes down to lower bracket and smacks around Space Station Gaming, who had done the same to E United the set before.
They were just mad after that loss.
They really were.
So much endurance is definitely evident from Rival, from losing in the upper bracket going to lowers, and now here today as well, getting another 3 games in a row.
It was impressive from Team Rival, their entire run. I think that obviously everyone from this LAN is going to remember Dignitas and how they lost this finals when they truly shouldn't have. But I think that will do them a disservice for how well they played overall.
Oh, yeah.
This was a handful of poor performances, but even it wasn't like they lost 4 games here. They lost 3 games and then gave 1 game to Rival. I think that it's important to remember that Dignitas swept Rival earlier, looked dominant doing so, looked really, really good against Space Station as well. I know that won't always work out. You know, asking fans to keep things like that in mind is never going to actually work out, but Dignitas performed well this weekend.
And I just got to say, I know that everybody's still pretty amped up and hype here at the studios for that Rival Dignitas set, and everybody, of course, is going to be happy for Rival. But I just think that Zyrhoes and Qvo both played unreal the entirety of the split. They both seemed like they were really consistent, and really they felt like catalyst members for getting things going on the side of Team Dignitas. And I am really looking forward to seeing what those two specifically are going to bring out in the summer split.
I mean, coming into this LAN specifically online, they only lost to NRG, if I'm not mistaken, and they were able to come in here, go undefeated up until the upper finals as well, which was really impressive to see how hot they come off of every single start of the season. I'm just kind of curious to see if they can keep this momentum going into summer.
Well, that's the question. Can they keep the momentum going into summer, into fall, into HRX even? HRX in the fall these days, no longer in January. This year it's going to be in November because we're partnering with DreamHack Atlanta. It's going to be an absolute blast, and you want to be there, so make sure you go to hi-rezexpo.com. Get your tickets now. They are on sale right now, so you want to make sure that you get that when you can. Impressive stuff from the boys of Rival. Congratulations once more to them. And you might be thinking, wow, you know, this event was so much fun. I want to watch more cool events that this squad is putting on. Well, I got good news for you because Spring Fling is coming up awfully soon, May 24th. You can tune in. It's going to be a little bit different, but the main thing, going to Make-A-Wish, that's still there, still for charity. You can still get yourself some awesome skins if you choose to be charitable. $1,000 plus get you Archon Thanatos or Poseidon. You can get some excellent Paladin skins as well. Excited about that. And Taco and Toli, don't worry, we're safe.
Oh.
It's going to be a little bit less gross, at least for us.
I'll believe
this year.
it when my head isn't stuck in a vat full of used roast beef mayonnaise.
Yes.
Man, what a visual that is. Thank you very much for joining us here the entire week. This has been an awesome LAN. The Masters was a great success, and we couldn't do it without you guys, the fans. Huge shout-outs to the production team here as well. This was our first LAN here with the new studio as part of Skillshot, and they absolutely crushed it. Big shout-outs to them as well. Thank you once more for joining us here at Masters, and to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to my mom and all of our moms here on the caster desk, and we'll catch you soon.